recording here.
doing. So I'm probably gonna go Ana here because Luciu's not enough heals.
Alright, so we're on Ana. I know it's been a while, so like just let me know if I'm repeating
Everyone's in
myself on anything.
voice.
Yeah, just let me know if I'm repeating myself on anything that like, you know, you already know, because it has been a while. So right now we're just looking at who we want to, you know, prioritize with our nano here. So Genji's probably gonna be number 1, right? We're going for
Yeah,
Genji Nano Blade.
Reinhardt number 2.
Yep. And then maybe just like full charge Zarya as number 3 or something like that.
Yeah. Or level 3 beam, depending on her positioning.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. You too, man. Reinhardt charging. You're walled. I can't see you.
Good anti.
Reload. Okay. Oh.
Good anti again.
I can't see you, Zar. Or. Oh.
Alright, so there we just got a little bit too aggressive with our positioning.
Yeah.
And you said that when you said "ope," right? So
Yeah.
whenever you can identify those mistakes, that's some kind of a place where you can look to self-improve. Because if you know what you did wrong, you can think about, okay, what could I've done instead, right? So
Okay, so he just used Dragon Blade, so I can't do that. Ryan's coming up on Shatter though, so if I can get to position. She has high charge. So. Soldier behind. Soldier behind. Soldier behind. Reload. Okay. Gonna hide in hotel. You're walled. Is this winnable? No. I can't see you. Okay. I'm probably dead here. Alright.
Alright, so
Let's
far
reset.
your nades are very, very, very good. You're hitting a lot of good antis. Focus a little bit more on your sleep usage, as we're a lot of times holding on to that for a little too long, 1. And 2, I don't know if we've actually landed a sleep yet, so make sure we're putting a lot of our mental, power into landing those, right? So your nades have been very good so far. Besides that, some decision-making stuff and
I got
willing
heals
to work
for
on
you,
too.
Ryan. Oh. Okay. You want to go? 3, 2, 1. I'm not in grab angle yet. Okay. Ryan, I can't see you. Yeah, too aggressive. But
when it comes to your calls, try to be a little bit more specific rather than just saying like, I can't get to grab, I can't see you, Ryan. Give clear instruction, kind of like Ryan, move to the right, move right. That way you know, can tell Ryan which way to get away from the wall, rather than just saying I can't get to you.
okay.
Back up. Back up.
Okay.
Reset.
We have walls and shatter we can use?
I'm not ready to hang it up.
Well, we don't have shatter, but we'll build it.
Regen up.
Maybe.
Line.
That
Line.
is-
Here we go.
Get back in the fight.
Nano wall. Get in there. Oh,
This will only hurt for a minute. Be home from with it.
Okay.
All right, so I think decision making is definitely gonna be one of those things that we're gonna need to work on here, and we'll go more into depth about that after I guess after this round's done here, since it's about to end. But yeah, so just
Yeah.
in case, have we talked about how to read when a fight's won or lost?
Yeah. I think I know somewhat. Um. Yeah, I know when people are down. Definitely a fight's lost.
Yep.
I'm maybe just being too aggressive in these matches.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So what would you do when you do lose a fight? Like what should your
Fall
action
back.
be? Well, a lot of the times we seem to be falling back super slowly, to where we, aren't falling back fast enough. And then the second thing to keep in mind is if you don't think that you're gonna be able to fall back, don't attempt to. Because if you're trying to fall back, but you know that they're gonna get you no matter what you do, right? That's where you just want to let them kill you. Because if you're trying to run away, you're just stalling out the time and you're staggering yourself.
Okay.
So if you think that they're gonna get you, like for example, when they capped first point and you and Zarya running away, you were basically, it was just you two there and that's it, and you were like pretty close to them. They just capped point, right? They're probably gonna chase you. They're probably gonna get you. So in that case, instead of trying to run away, we want to run towards them so they can kill us faster.
Can reset. Yeah.
Mhm.
Got it.
And then there were 2 other instances where we just ended up dying because we pushed up too far.
Yeah.
And if you would like, we can maybe go quickly, or like after this round, we can just go back and review those 2 spots just so you can see it in hindsight and kind of see the decision making behind that.
I've seen worse. You're going to live.
Yo, save that bubble so I can get some speed on them. Shatter.
Watching your back. Take your medicine. Walk it off. Enemy radar contact. You're going to live.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines!
Locking down the objective.
I could use the top buff, Mercy, if you can.
Instead of calling that out in chat, a lot of times it's just gonna be a lot better to press
Yeah.
I need healing. That way you're not cluttering comms with that. 2, it's just gonna be easier, right? Mercy doesn't know what character you're playing based off your voice. Mercy doesn't know where you're at, right? You pressing I need healing tells her what character you are, where on the map you're at, right? Just because she can hear it.
Okay. I'm gonna nano Genji in 3, 2, 3. Wait, okay, 3, 2, 1.
Heroes never die.
Okay, when you're trying to coordinate that nano with Genji, tell if he's in chat there, he can like hear you, right? Tell him to dash up in the air. That can isolate him from the team so that he's not standing inside them.
I just don't want him to waste dash on that.
Oh,
sometimes.
he gets dash back after he blades.
Oh.
Blade will give you an extra dash.
Oh. Okay.
Yep. So if you
Forgot that.
dash up, that isolates you from the
Ryan, can you
team.
peek back just a little bit? Okay, thank you.
Isolates you from the
That's it.
team as well as it makes it easier for him to see where he's going, right? Because he's up in the air.
Shit.
Yep. So say, hey, Genji, we have Nano Blade this fight. Dash up in the air and call it when you want it, or you can count it down like you've been doing.
Barry's going down.
Yep. The other thing to also just keep in mind is try to place yourself, like move to the side so that you're not standing right behind your team.
Ryan,
Echo online. Focus with me. Oh, you look tired. The pig team.
My ultimate is charging.
Alright, we got Nanoblade next fight.
Yep. So this is now that we're in between these sites, we'd be saying, yeah, we have Nanoblade, Genji dash up, and I'll call 3, 2, 1, and you dash
hey,
up.
Genji, can you dash up?
I got May. We got a May now. Hold off.
I can nano you in 3, 2, 1.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Huge.
Yep. Just keep your eye on your Genji after you send him in, because since he's nanoblading, right, he's gonna be the one that everyone on the enemy team's looking at. So he's gonna be a pretty high priority healing target. Yep. So Genji's gonna be a pretty high priority healing target since he's gonna be where who everyone's looking at. So if we can pay attention to him after we nano him, we can keep him alive longer, and since that'll be getting us a lot of value since he's gonna be who everyone is actually looking at.
Let's reset. We have Echo ult.
You're going to be okay.
And Valk and Grav. So we can probably win out just off that. We just gotta stay alive here. Okay, we're up.
Go. I keep you here.
May's gonna have a wall. You got a bubble?
That's a really good. May ult coming in.
Get to you.
Oh, just try to get out of that, right? Because if you get out of it, then you can just snipe them, whoever's inside.
Огонь по готовности. I will keep you here. في الامتحان يكرم المرء أو
Oh
يهان.
shit, I didn't kill Lucio? What the hell?
You don't have healers right now. We're coming back. Play slow.
It's ready to be unleashed.
Take cover.
I have your back.
Let's get to that ultimate.
Okay.
You're powered up. This will help. I've seen it.
Remember, Genji in the middle of the fight is a higher priority than like the Zarya or the Ryan, right? Even if they're critical, Genji's critical too, and he has 4 people looking at him.
Enemy contact. Watching your back. We need to get the payload moving.
Wait,
Charge.
I don't have charge.
Oh.
Get to you.
Well.
What the fuck?
Doomfist, charge out. Huge.
Just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Doomfist, charge in.
Heroes never die.
Doomfist gonna lower cut. Nice.
Enemy seen.
I've seen it. You're going to win it.
Tracer, no pulse.
The pain is coming.
The battle continues.
Patched up. I have your back. This will help. You're powered up. Get in there. Man. Boosting. 60 seconds.
Ryan's one.
Alright, so on our attack here, I think I'm noticing that we're getting a lot less value out of our nade, and we have actually hit a lot more sleeps, but it seems like we've kind of swapped that up to where now we're not getting as much nade value in, but we are landing a lot more sleeps. So just really focus on trying to get...
I'm kind of either using one or the other as a, like an offensive, and one as a like kind of like to save myself, because I know there's a Doomfist. So
Yeah, they've done Tracer Monkey, so yeah, we can and Ball. So they've swapped to a full dive, which now we're looking to use it mainly as a defensive, right? But if we also do see a good opportunity, we are looking for those anti-nades still. Especially if we see we're not the ones that they're diving.
10 seconds. Get here.
I'm just talking about previously when they weren't really on dive as well, because they only had just swapped to dive.
Nim. I have a die. Walk it off. You're powered up. Get
All right,
in there.
good positioning there at the end.
Good job, guys.
Good job ramping up your sleep usage. Just make sure you're trying to keep, or like, right, with both nade and our sleeps, we're looking for both quality and quantity. And just keep in mind that it's possible to get both. You're trying to throw it out as often as possible, while
Okay.
also trying to get as much value out of them, right? So we should be thinking about
Yeah.
how we're going to use them like 2 seconds in advance,
I
even
think
before we
I'm
get them.
thinking like if I use one offensively, I have to use one. I have to save one to like save myself.
It's not
So
that's not always gonna be the case, especially if you have good positioning. But that does what I just said does swap up when you're up against, for example, a dive or up against flanker characters, right? So what I'm talking about I'm talking about specifically throughout the whole round they weren't on a dive particularly, right? The whole round they were on a different composition up until like really the last fight or two. That's when they swapped to over to a full dive. But up until that point, we didn't really have much contesting us. So if we don't see that if we don't have somebody coming on top of us every fight, that's where we should probably be looking to use both nade and sleep pretty regularly, even if we're not using one defensively, one offensively. We can most of the time look to use both of them offensively,
okay.
unless we know that we're who they're targeting, right? If they're running a dive and they're all going to be coming on top of us, then we hold on to it until they get to us.
They walled me off.
Go. I'll keep you here.
Bear's going down.
Get here. Changing position.
Bear's low.
This will help. I've seen worse. You're going to live.
Line is very low. I have 1 HP.
Get here.
Holy shit. Good job, guys.
My ultimate is ready.
My ultimate is charging.
They're gonna have.
Enemy radar contact.
It's ultra.
All right. Let's blade in. 3, 2, 1.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Dragon becomes me.
That takes what
Be
live.
behind, be behind, be behind. Be on me, be on me.
Finishing them off.
Nice staggering.
I have your back.
Oh, she's getting out. Genji,
Hey, I'm coming back.
Thank you.
Be careful, guys. No shield yet.
Ryan's kind of alone.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
I'll be watching over.
Get back in the fight.
Thank you.
60 seconds.
Fire at will.
This will help.
reload.
You're going. This will only hurt.
All right, so
Okay.
in that last fight, we whiffed 2 pretty big nades, especially when they're pretty easy nades as well. Their whole team was shattered. We ended up only hitting like one of our teammates, and then we landed a big grab, and we ended up missing everyone on the grab, right? So I think why don't you give me the code to that game, because I think that there's some just good key point. We're not gonna go over the whole thing, but we'll go over some key points that that are gonna be good to remember here. But yeah, make sure that we're looking to, you know, put thought into our ability usage, and then we're not just throwing them out there. So when yeah, I'm loading in game right now. I'm gonna be streaming in a moment here.
Okay.
So first off, we'll just go to the practice range here, and I'll show you in game when you're doing this. But essentially here, got a couple things here. First off, with our nade usage, make sure that we're looking to get it around people, or like we're looking to land at the floor in between the most people if possible, right? If we're hitting one person directly, it blocks it from hitting everyone else. So that means that we want to be looking to hit the floor, because even if we like aim it over on the floor over here, it'll still catch them in, because it's a giant radius, right? We still get both
Okay.
of them, right? So instead of throwing it directly at people, we're looking to hit it against like the ground, right? And then that way we're
Okay.
getting the big giant radius where it's hitting the most people. A lot of the time what we're doing is we're letting our team get in the way, and we're chucking it at our teammates, and then our teammates are blocking it. So when teammates are in the way, right, we see that they're in the way, we can that may be down here, right? Then we just have to move to the side, right? So now they're not in the way, right? So if our teammates are in front of us, all we have to do is just move left or right. And then now, you know, we're out of the way so that we can toss in a nade, right, in between them. Okay. The second thing we're doing is I'll probably say this is a very fairly weird aim style, and I think that this is okay for your normal aiming, because you seem to be hitting a lot of just normal shots, right? Just healing and damage shots, right? You're hitting those fine. But your aim is pretty strange in the fact that you kind of do a little wavy aim style, and I'll demonstrate this while you play. But you do this basically, and it works out for you. I typically wouldn't recommend this, but you kind of go in and out when you're shooting at people, where you're going where you shoot, then go down, shoot down, right?
I
Or
think you
shoot.
said that last time too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
But I changed my sensitivity so it kind of I tried to like minimize that by lowering my sensitivity so that if it's like a micro flick, it's not being as, you know what I'm saying? So if
yeah.
it is like a muscle memory micro flick,
Yeah, but it's not going as
which
far.
yeah.
But where this is really gonna mess with you is when you're trying to land sleeps. Is just you want to make sure that when you're trying to go for sleeps, sleeps are very similar to nades, where you're trying to place it well. You're not trying to flick it, right? When you're looking for a nade, you think about it for like 2 seconds. You take the time and effort, and then you make sure no one's in front of you, and you're trying to line it up correctly, and then you just toss it in. You try to place it well, right? In the same way you're doing that with sleeps, where you're just taking a couple seconds, you're trying to place it, and then you're tossing it in. You're not rushing it. Whereas a lot of times when Anas go to land nades, they'll do something like this, where like their aim is kind of normal, like you're just doing this, right? And this works out. But then all of a sudden when you go for sleep, you like go like that, where like you do like a massive flick or something like that when you go for your sleep, and that's just not what you want to be doing, because that's just going to make it really inaccurate. So you want to make sure that you're keeping the flicks to a minimum, because this, like, every time that you do this just means that you have to adjust further back, right? Whereas if we can just
Yeah.
go back and forth here, right?
Now
Go ahead.
I've been trying to do that, but like somehow, like I just physically can't. Like I know it's like weird to say that, but like I've been trying to just have my crosshair placed somewhere and follow them with my crosshair, and then like that's what you said last time, and I've been trying to do that, but like I just can't. I don't know why. Like I've been really trying too. It's not like I don't know why I can't just like lay my crosshair on something and shoot it and it hit. I don't know why every shot has to be a skill shot. Kind of.
Which
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which you have been doing very good of hitting your regular shots. I think that that's really just affecting your sleep slightly. Where targets are like right in front of us, right? Where it's like a big fat tank right here, and then we're just going like this, right?
But also like if I'm tired or something, it really goes down.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So where you're not nearly as accurate.
Yeah, because kind of my shots now, like they have to be skill shots, and if I'm good and warmed up and like good, then I'm hitting like every shot. But like if I'm tired, I just become like really bad, you know?
Mhm.
You disappoint.
Yeah,
And
so what I would maybe say is like maybe take some time off from competitive while you're practicing that and just try it only in something like quick play or try it only in something like an arcade mode where or like a death match where you're just your sole focus, right? You're not thinking about any other gameplay, and this is why maybe something like FFA might be a good place, but or even Training Rage, right? While you're first trying this, but your sole objective is just make sure you're doing this, right? You're just doing this, and that's it, right? You're just trying to track people, right, while they're moving around to where we're doing this,
You need
right, and we're just tracking
oh my
them,
gosh,
right?
I can't. Can I just show you can I show
Go
you
ahead.
what I'm kind of struggling with that? I know it's a little weird, but like, okay, so am I still sharing on my end?
Yeah, you're sharing.
So let me go to like one of my things here. I have a lot of aim presets.
Mm-hmm.
So wait. Uh so
Never stop fighting for what you believe in.
so let me just try to like track. I'm not even shooting. I'm just trying to
Uh-huh.
lay my crosshair down on a target here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is.
It seems pretty stuttery. Do you still what do you have your sensitivity at?
Um, so my sensitivity is at
5?
5
What
right.
what's your DPI at?
800.
800? All right. Well, I mean, I don't know what it could be. It could be something
But
with
even
you're
if
using
I like say I drop it, like let's go to
Oh, what do you
3,
Uh-huh.
which is not.
Yeah, it still feels like we're kind of skipping. Like kind of it's we go like it's kind of I don't know how to describe this, but I can demonstrate this if you want to look at my screen, but it seems like it's not smooth at all to where we're
No, it's not.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to make it
Never
Do you
smooth.
have your like any part of your hand touching your desk while you're doing this?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm?
But I can lift it up
Yeah,
and
if you're so do you use your when you're aiming, are you using your arm or your wrist mainly?
both.
Yeah, guys.
Especially when I go with lower sense.
Yeah, so how
I
basically
tried to use motion a little bit to like
from you.
kind of aid in it, but then that can be, you know?
Yeah, so essentially what you should be doing is not using your arm when you're going for flicks, right? So there are a few scenarios where flicks are okay, right? So if somebody just appeared on our screen, right? So we're aiming here, and then all of a sudden we see this guy on the left, right? So we're aiming here, and then all of a sudden we have to flick over to this guy, right? So that's where I'm taking my hand off my desk, or not necessarily taking it off my desk, but I'm taking my wrist off my desk, and I'm using my whole arm to where I'm moving my whole arm from side to side, right? But then once we start to get to these like pretty precise shots where we're aiming it alongside,
We're
now
using wrist.
now I'm resting my wrist on my desk, right? And that steadies my aim to where now I'm keeping my wrist from not moving around all the time, right? Or it kind of steadies my aim to where my mouse can't even move that far, right?
Okay.
So that's what you can try to do. Now I don't like I said this isn't an insane problem, so we can try to move on from this to
I mean, I
back to really
kind of
playing.
like this is a major issue, so
Mhm.
like because of course I want to be able to play when
Believe in.
I'm a little bit more tired, you know?
Yeah.
You know. So
Now entering King's Row, ready for battle.
you know. So
Mhm.
I don't know why I can't just like keep my crosshair at its chest and like go from there. Like if you see my crosshair, I'm like
Going left and right and up, down.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm like trying my hardest here to keep it at chest level, and I'm not able
Yeah.
to do it. I mean, any advice for that, or is it just
To
kind of
be
like
honest, this is not my area of expertise because I feel like this could be any number of issues from your mouse being broken to maybe you haven't cleaned your mouse pad in a while. It could be something like, or it could be the quality of your mouse pad as well. It could be you just having, I don't know, like I don't know any of your medical history. It could be something, because I know something, for example, like my grandfather has what's it called? There's a disease that he has where it makes his arm shake. I can't exactly remember it currently,
okay?
but this could be something medical. But like that's not particularly my area of expertise. I probably say mechanics training is one of my lower areas of knowing how to do that.
Okay.
But yeah, you can try cleaning your mouse pad. Try seeing if the same thing happens with a different mouse. Um,
I just got a new mouse, so I don't think it would be that.
mm, yeah. Like if you just brush your hand over your mouse pad real quick, are you feeling dust or dirt or anything like that?
No, I mean it's textured, but I don't know if that.
Mm.
It's black, but textured.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what could be the issues there. You might something you could try to do is do research on the topic and look just Google that, and it could be something with your
I,
computer not registering your mouse correctly.
hmm,
I personally just have no clue what it could be
okay.
because I'm just not an expert in that area of knowing and
Okay.
knowing what would be wrong if you have jitter aim. Because honestly, I haven't had anyone before who said that they are not able to correct that, right? Um,
Yeah. Well, I mean I try. Like, and I mean I'm getting it close enough to where,
do
if I
you
had to like do shots,
do you feel
you
like that
know,
is so when you're when you feel like it's not like when your hand when
I
it's being jittery? Do you feel like it's your hand being jittery, or you feel like like something isn't registering correctly and
I
it's
can't exactly tell. I think it might be a bit of both. It might be just one. Let me just try to like,
Supervision.
but so I mean, of course, like sometimes it's beneficial because like I can just, like I can shoot there and then shoot there.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like flick high shots and low shots aren't a problem because I'm so jittery because I can just like go there and there, you know?
Yeah.
But like long-term tracking is kind of like sucky. So like soldier's not good because if I like go, I don't know, soldier and just like, let me see.
We're all soldiers now.
Double kill. Triple
Yeah, it
kill.
seems like you're
Yeah, you see?
yeah, it seems like you're
Like
almost over like you're always over adjusting to where you're always going past where you're trying to go. Do you have oh, I forget what the setting is. Is it you have like mouse acceleration turned on? I know that that's a setting that you can have somewhere. I don't think that's in game. I think that would be out of game where you can find
I
that.
have a setting somewhat like that. I forget what it's called. Uh, um,
Mouse okay.
enable high precision mouse input.
No. Why don't can you go to Windows are you on Windows 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to open mouse settings if you can. And
Okay.
it just says turn off enhance pointer precision.
Um, primary, primary button, multiple roll the mouse wheel to scroll multiple lines at a time. Choose how many lines to scroll each time. Adjust mouse and cursor size.
Okay.
No.
Sorry, it's additional mouse options.
Additional mouse option. Okay.
Yep.
And then pointer options. Uh,
1 second. In the
uh,
mouse proper, so I'm having my. They're trying to deny my ad blocker, so I can't see it
okay.
super well. In the mouse properties dialog box, click
Yeah.
pointer options, and then clear the enhance pointer precision checkbox.
It's like pointer motion speed. Oh, that's unclicked.
That is unclicked, you said?
Yes.
Here, let
And
me.
it's in the middle. So it's not on fast and it's not on slow.
No, I don't know if that's necessarily it. Just click go to the. I just sent you the article if you want to check it out. You can see it. Just follow the instructions yourself here.
Um, yeah, I mean the box is turned off.
Yeah, the box that says.
Yeah, I mean it's what is it?
All right. And do you have any like? Do you have any maybe like mouse specific? Or what type of mouse do you have? I guess
I
that.
have the Corsair sword.
So do you have a Corsair app open that you can check
IQ,
out?
yeah,
Yeah. Maybe there's a setting in
IQ.
there on it.
Let me see. Knight sword, RGB. Yeah. Um, 800 is the DPI. Um, I have enhanced mouse precision turned off. There's surface calibration, which I think I've done. Surface is calibrated.
What did you? So in game, what was that setting that you went to? That was your. It was your.
That's in gameplay. Enable high precision mouse input.
Um.
I don't know what it is.
Enable high precision mouse input. Okay, I have that on as well. Hmm.
Double kill.
Should have kept your head down.
Oh. So
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
it could. Do you try? Have you tried So try standing still while you're doing this, just so we can
Okay.
see if it's your movement that's messing with you. Make sure try standing to, the side of them, not directly on
What do
them.
you mean?
Oh, standing so that you're going left and right, not just a little bit down.
Okay. Uh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try standing still while you're trying to do this.
Okay. Standing?
Yeah, just sit there still, right? All right, yeah, it's still. I mean, this is that. It still feels like you're slightly off here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm at 3, but I mean, that's still like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now to see if there's anything.
I don't know. It's like So
Yeah, so I guess what I would say with this is try doing more research on it. If you haven't ever cleaned your mouse pad, that's something that I would do, as that's something that you should probably be doing pretty
yeah,
regularly. With with you can do that with water. And just rub it, and that can get dirt out, and that can help your mouse pad detect your mouse better. And then I guess, yeah, try looking at it more, and then I want to get into those other plays just so that we can review it
sure, sure,
real
sure.
quick before we have to end the session.
Oh, of
Um,
course. And at some point, I would love for you to teach me Lucio wall riding
uh-huh.
a little bit more, because I know you're really good at that, and I'm working on it, but I'm not there yet.
Well, we
But
can
anyway,
we can go over that very quickly in the training range. After, like, I'll just quickly
yeah,
review these spots, and we can go over that in the training range real
sure,
quick.
sure, sure, sure.
All right, so get to Andex. So this first one is on first point here, where we end up dying because we get too aggressive trying to save the Zarya. And we do
Yeah,
this same play actually twice. Actually,
yeah,
I
I
think we
did.
die twice this, and then we'll also see this again in the future, where we kind of get too aggressive trying to support people. Just keep in mind, it's never a good decision to sacrifice yourself to save somebody else, right? If you know that you're gonna die, or there's a high probability that you're gonna die, for you trying to save somebody else, that's not gonna be good. Always try
Yeah,
to
yeah,
prioritize yourself, right? So,
yeah. Yeah. I've learned that lesson. It's just I didn't do it here.
yep. Which in that case, right?
That
Whenever
Ryan's
we,
probably dead. That Ryan's dead.
I don't think we run
Let's be
forward for him.
honest.
We run forward for our Zarya in a second here. So
Okay.
our Zarya gets walled right here, right? So Zarya gets walled. We try to peek left side, and then they just run into us, right? So instead, if we see Zarya's running left side here, we should be back further over here, so we can just heal her from this direction, right? From this
Yeah.
angle. So we
Well,
run
it's
too far.
also my Genji, I think too, and my Lucio.
Yeah,
It's
the thing is, though, that, like, it's the fact that we see her, like, kind of run over to heal us, right? And we just put ourselves a little bit too far in the open, and we actually
yeah, I get it.
we don't just walk to where we can see her, right? Because we could have seen her from this angle, right? We walk
Yeah,
into her and pass her, right? We just go too far is the thing,
yeah,
right? Because from here we can back up much easier than from where we're at currently. So we end up
yeah.
going too far in, and then that results in the Ryan just running into us, Zarya running into us, and then we die, right?
Mhm.
Whereas Zarya gets out fine, right? Zarya probably would have survived, had we stayed back, right? And if we had stayed back, then that puts us at a big advantage. So
Yeah.
we see that again in the future when let's see, where do we do this? I think here, right? Same thing, same exact thing. We see Ryan. Oh no, not here. Is this? I guess this might be in the future here. All right, let's see.
I'm not ready to hang it up.
Regen up.
All right, so I think we might have been actually saved by the or sorry, we got grabbed here, but look here. I think Ryan gets walled, and we run super close to the left side here, right? So if we're looking at at this situation, if we run in here, yeah, Ryan's probably gonna die, right? He's most likely gonna
Yeah,
die.
yeah, yeah.
If we
I
run
get
in
you.
right to this angle where we can see him, that means that we're probably gonna die,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
There's not a good situation where we survive.
I'm
Yeah.
just not respecting the Maywall enough.
Yep. And then that means that we're now out of position to where we get grabbed. We're in the front of the grab, makes it super easy for us to get grabbed. That was a very bad sim wall, but it doesn't matter. We're not sim.
Yeah, yeah, no, no.
Yep. And then we do this again, I believe, on our attack here. I think with a May freeze. Let's see if we can skip to the point here. I don't know where. No, okay. I guess it was before this. Hopefully I can find it.
Adjusting angle of go.
I think this is our first push in here. Yep, so we speed on up.
My ultimate is charging.
I'm just card pusher right now.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, I still don't see it here. So here we don't prioritize the Genji, I think. With healing, he dies. Let's see, where's it at? Is this? Yeah, okay, so freeze, right? We see the freeze, we start to back up, and then I hear you go in, coming in, right? And I think you said something like that, and I was like, wait, no, that's not what you should be doing, right? We can probably very easily just back up out of this, right? Because that just takes one hop and we're out. And then what we can do from there is we can get to this angle, or we can see Reinhardt
we
and
can
Genji.
get something.
Yep. And also like walking down, right? We don't have to push in, and us pushing in here is just going to mean that we're making it easier for them to kill us. And on top of that, right, on top of us being easier to kill, that means also we can't heal anymore, right? So this is a bad decision because we try to push in, and then that means we just get frozen. All right. So why don't we? So I think probably for your Ana, just as a quick summary here, I'd probably say your nade usage is very, very good. Or I'd probably say you do very, very good whichever one you're focusing on, right? You do good when it comes to nades when you're focusing on your nades. You do good when you're on your sleeps when you're focusing on your sleeps. But just make sure that you're trying to land, like you want to get to the place where you can focus on both and make sure you're getting out both quantity and quality for both. You're trying to keep up those. So every time we use sleep, we use nade. Okay. Now you have a 10-second cooldown. So once we get back up to where we're at like 4 seconds, now we're thinking about how we're using nade again, right? So we're looking for situations.
But am I like open duck?
Wait, are you an open duck when you don't have those? Well, it depends on what comp. It depends on what comp they have, right? This will and also depends on your positioning, right? This will always depend. Everything in Overwatch is situational.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course.
So if they're on dive, then we're probably not even going to find a good opportunity to use a sleep and a nade, right? Because they're all going to be all split up, right? So the best nade and sleep usage we can use when they're on dive is on ourself, right? Because that's where they all group up. If they're all grouping up to dive us, then we nade ourselves, we get self-healing, and we nade whoever's diving on top of us, right? We use sleep because that's defensive, right? So when they're on something like dive where they have a bunch of flankers, that's where we might want to be using nade and sleep for ourselves a lot more. But let's say they're on Brawl, right? So Brawl would be Ryan, Zarya, Mei, Reaper, Lucio Moira, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are like in against that composition? Really, what are we gonna need to save save sleep and nade for, right?
Well, you would Mei and Reaper, really.
Mei and Reaper. Well, how is Mei gonna get on top of you?
If Mei gets near us in any way.
Yeah.
Like
So
if
in
she
that case,
sneaks behind.
Oh
then
well.
you just sleeper, and then your team can follow up with a kill.
Yeah.
Possibly.
In no situation should we be letting a Mei get next to us because of positioning, right? We can position to where we're, one, we can be in high grounds, two, we can be like a little bit further back away from our team.
I think their Mei even did that round.
Flanked
we punished her. Yeah. But we punished her, but...
You know when it was? Because I don't recall Mei flanking.
I don't know if it was a flank Mei, or it was just like... Well, it kind of was, because she was by herself. I don't know if it was flank, but it was Mei by herself.
The other thing to keep in mind is that when we have our team with us, a lot of the time we can just kind of duck inside of our tanks, right? And we don't need to, if someone's flanking, we don't need to use our abilities to stop them from flanking. Because someone always has the opportunity to flank, right? Any character can flank. It's just that there's some characters that aren't very good at it, right? So if Mei's on a flank, we don't need sleep per se, because we have our team. We just run to our team, and now they turn around and they kill Mei, right?
Okay.
Because Mei's not a good flanking character. She's not going to have the survivability, right?
No.
So we can get away with using sleep aggressively or using nade aggressively, right? And launch it on someone on the front line. right? So when they don't, when they have comps that are playing far away from us or playing, like for example, let's say again they're on a spam composition. Spam's going to be when they have something like this is all long range compositions. Sigma,
Yeah, yeah.
Orisa, Hanzo, Widowmaker, right? Who's going to get it on you then? Right? Is
Well, I mean, you could sleep the widow, but you know.
right? So in that, again, in that situation, it's not they're not going to have very good flanker player comps, right, or anything like that. So we can look to use sleeps and nades a little bit more aggressively, right? So it's going to
Oh,
depend on
okay.
our positioning. It's going to depend on the situation, right? If we see a 4-man anti-nade, then it doesn't matter if they're on dive, right? Because even if we die, that 4-man anti-nade is more important than our life, essentially, right? We're gonna get more value and win the fight most of the time over that 4-man anti-nade than us being alive. Now, of course, we don't want to die. We're gonna do our best to stay alive, but
Well, even that's situational.
even that's
Because
situational. Yeah.
because even if you can get like a 4-man anti, like even in that case, like I think I got one that was like of total no value. Like I think I got a 4-man in the fight that my Rhine died, and I just chucked it in there and
Yeah.
got all
Well,
4 of them.
so
But there
4-man
was no
anti-nades.
follow up, and
Yeah.
there couldn't be any
Exactly.
follow up.
Right.
So,
So it's all gonna be everything's gonna be situational,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's using a 4-man anti-nade after the fight has been after you're at a disadvantage, which means that you're not gonna have the ability for people to follow up on it, right? And
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not a 4-man anti-nade's not gonna do anything when they have a Lucio beat or a Baptiste lamp, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not always going to do something, but in a lot of situations it will. That's why nade's such a
Do you
powerful
think
ability.
do you think do you think sleep and anti are good on top of Rhine?
On top of Ryan?
Because
Yes.
yeah,
Or
because I
for an
think
enemy
about this
Reinhardt?
because because I do trade sometimes bubble with that then because
Mhm.
say there's an engage, I throw a nade between my Rhine and their Rhine, my Rhine gets plus healing, his gets anti, and then Zarya uses her bubble to shield her Rhine and cleanse the anti. Is that still a good use of an anti, or was that
I
kind of
probably say you could, if possible, you try to wait until after they've used bubble, right? Because after they've used
okay?
bubble, now they don't have a chance to cleanse it.
Okay.
But if you're forced to, for example, like let's say your Reinhardt's critical and you need that burst healing, then that's a situation where yeah, it's fine because you got the value out of getting the Reinhardt too.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. We can go over just Lucio real quick here, and then I have to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much on Lucio, when you're doing this, when you're wall riding, you're never going to click a side button. You're only gonna click W, and that's it. Okay.
What?
Yep. You never click left. You never click right. You only click W. Right. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna spam right click to where we're just essentially doing this. Or sorry, not right click. I have it on my right click. You're gonna spam
Well, I
jump.
have it on right
Right?
click too.
Okay, then that works, right? You just
Yeah.
spam right click, you hold down W and that's it, right? And then you essentially just move your camera around, right? You move your camera where you're trying to go. You don't need to press any side buttons to go anywhere. You're just gonna move your camera. Okay?
Oh.
And that means that you're not sticking to the wall, and that's gonna make it your wall riding a lot easier, right? So we can get these really sick wall rides in, right, where we're just getting off of random objects because we're just kind of spamming a right click. And of course, my wall riding. The training range, honestly, I've tried to do demonstrations in this all the time, but there's really nothing good to wall ride in here.
Oh, come on, BSK. Just get that, antenna at the top. Oh, just kidding.
And I did that last time too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you can essentially
Yeah.
do this stuff. It's honestly super easy once you get used to it. You can try this
Now-
out in quick play.
Do you
Yep.
do jump off the walls, right?
Do I jump off the
you,
walls?
When you jump, and then when you're going off the wall, you do another jump, right?
Essentially, when you're spam clicking, you're like, you don't even if you hold it down, like when you're spam clicking, that doesn't mean that you're ever really on the wall per se. Like you're always just clicking and letting go.
Okay.
It doesn't
And then crossfade spamming.
doing this. That's
Yeah.
only useful to mix up your movement. Essentially that what that's gonna do is when you're strafing, for example, like you've seen Lucio's do this, right, where they go like where they like do a quick like I
Yeah,
can't
yeah, yeah,
where
yeah,
where
yeah.
they're doing this, right? That I think I
Mhm.
used to it, right?
Red
Crossfades.
shell, like, yeah.
Yeah, crossfade spamming makes it so that you're even more unpredictable because now you're speeding in one direction, then stopping your speed, right? And then speeding in another direction and stopping your speed. That's only going to be useful if you're trying to like do extreme jukes, but other than that, it doesn't have much use.
Okay.
Yeah, so essentially with your wall riding, you're just gonna spam it, and it's pretty easy. You don't really need to worry about how many times you're clicking your right click. You're just pretty much spamming it. You're just kind of clicking it constantly.
But you don't use any other keys other than W.
Yep.
This is my jam.
Oh, okay.
Oh, again I've health them up, but that's
Yeah, yeah.
there's apparently nowhere to stick down there. But yeah, this is I remember I did the same thing. I was surprised too. I found Red Shell did that in a tweet really like probably a year ago or something like that. He tweeted that out where he was like, I'm surprised people didn't know this, but when you're on Lucio, you do not press side buttons, right? And then he like did this demonstration in the practice range where he went over this. And it just means that like you can do like I'll just go on a random map here.
I've tried to do red shells like mapping too, but I
Yeah.
can't do it. I just can't do it.
Like we'll just go to a random map like Blizzard World, and we'll just do a rollout from spawn because you can essentially just like you're just going from like any object that you see that's close to you. You're just trying to whoops, that's not the right character. Right, so here there's nothing really here, but we're gonna jump on these doorways. When you're trying to go down, you always look down. When you're trying to get height, you look up. So if we're trying to go in a doorway, for example, we're trying to go down. Okay, so we're gonna. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. So we're coming through these doorways. We just kind of amp speed, going on this wall. You can also skip the. If you saw that, you can see we can keep our
Bunny
momentum
hop?
up. Yeah, we can keep that momentum up if we're just pretty much just spamming right click, right? Okay, and then we're just looking for objects to ride along.
You hear that?
So it's really just all the camera.
Yep, it's all camera.
Okay. I thought it was more than that.
Nope. It's not super complicated. You just need to kind of understand the tech behind it.
Okay.
Nothing's gonna stop me.
And do you look to the side of objects, or do you look
You
just in front of it, or what do you do?
you're looking to where you're positioning yourself on the side, right? So if you watch my camera angle, or I guess like if we're just like kind of going around something, we're kind of taking our crosshair and putting it like right here to where we're just kind of hugging the side of it, so that we're like our kind of the right side of our body, right, is touching it, if that makes sense. I
Okay.
guess. So we're trying to just make it so that we're kind of parallel to it. Right, that's the word. So our camera is parallel to it, but I don't know if it does that because you're not staring at it, right? If you
no.
stare at it, then this happens, right? Where you're like
Or-
you just go in that direction.
Yeah, I do that all the time. But also I've seen SK where she won't even be like looking at the wall, and she'll be wall riding on.
Right.
And
Well,
I'm like, what the heck?
you can be like this, right? Like I can be like doing this. It's just because I'm next to it, right?
Yeah. But can you like wall ride while not looking at the wall? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like you're looking to aim while you're wall riding
Yeah,
behind
well-
you.
Oh, so yeah, because you can do backwards while riding,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's
Like kind of like that.
this is a lot more difficult doing it. Like this is a lot more difficult doing this to where we're like actually like hopping from the thing. When you're trying to like do this, just wall ride like that and just shoot at stuff, that's where you might just want to hold it down so that you're just wall going along the wall. Because it's pretty difficult to get it to where you're able to do this, right? And go because you can't see where you're going, right? So unless you know the map like insanely well, you're not gonna be able to path is the thing.
Okay.
But most of the time, you're just gonna be going forward anyways when you're
When
shooting
you're
at
doing
people.
backwards wall riding, you're holding down jump key.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay.
Or jump key? No, no. Yeah. You hold it down to where you're just
Yeah, right click.
gripping the wall.
Yeah.
Yep. Because then you do the smooth wall riding where you're doing this the whole time, right?
Because I know there's two styles with Lucio, Reddit and kind of team base Grim Lucio. You know,
Yep.
and you kind of have to switch between both effortlessly, where it's like, okay, I'm going on like, oh, there's a widow, I'm gonna